Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is October 4th, 2017, and today's Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic calendar today, many things coming up today. Let's look at that. 10:30 South African time, Services PMI number coming out of Great Britain, and then in the afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock South African time, ISM Non-Manufacturing number, PMI number coming in the United States. And then we have weekly crude oil inventories number coming out at 4:30 South African time. And then in the evening, 7:15 South African time, we have ECB President Draghi will be speaking. That's followed by at 9:15 South African time, Fed Chairman Yellen will be speaking. Remember, this week is NFP this Friday, so keep an eye on that and anticipate some volatility for that. But let's see what's been happening in the markets before we discuss the NFP. So we're going to start here with the Euro USD. Beautiful retracement yesterday by the Euro USD. Nice bounce above the 30-day and 14-day moving average. So this may be a consolidation period for the Euro USD versus the dollar, obviously. As you can see, we had this upper range. We broke up below it. And it may actually be forming a head and shoulders just like the gold has been forming. If we look at this area, we could see that this would be one shoulder, this would be a head, and this would be an anticipated another shoulder. So let's see if when we do rally, do we break above this 1880 level, which is about 100 pips away. So, I can't celebrate this retracement, this bounce too soon, but it looks like at 1732, it is looking like it's consolidating. Okay, so that seems like that's a pretty good neckline for the Euro USD. Let's see how that unfolds further than this week, but in case it does hit 1880, that might be a good position to actually go short in the anticipation that it does come in. But look at the volatility today. Let's see if there's follow through, especially with, the ECB President Draghi will be speaking on Fed Chair. Yellen will be speaking. So it'll be a little bit of a tug of war between today and Friday when we do have the NFP. Remember, NFP is a very big number that comes out monthly. It really, basically, for those who don't know, it gauges the demand for workforce in the United States. And since the United States is one of the largest economies, and it spearheads the economies around the world, it has a major impact. So that is a major impact number that will be coming out later this week, as we've spoken before. Looking at the GBP USD, we're also bouncing off this neckline. Now, this would have been like the A+ trade. Okay, had you bought this here, it would have been a nice bounce. Okay, we're not talking about a home run, but for a first single double for middle of the week, as this has been retracing over 300 pips to 400 pips, a nice 70 pip bounce is something to warrant some sort of trade. So this would have been a nice. Now what you need to be looking here is follow through. Okay, if we don't break above this 14-day moving average like we did by the Euro USD, as you can see, the Euro USD bounced much harder. Okay, let's look at a four-hour chart. You see we're above this 30-day and 14-day moving average, whereas by the GBP we're still below it. Okay, so this is trailing behind it. Okay, which has been more the character for the GBP versus the USD, has not as been aggressive and as forceful on the upside than the euro. So that's something to take of note. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that I should buy the euro USD, but it's something to take of note. Okay, especially when you're trading them against each other. Now looking at the USD ZAR, retracing a little bit, okay, versus the dollar, getting a little bit stronger here from our 1375 level down to 1360-ish level. Okay, now this has been a little bit hard because if you look at this, we are at resistance levels. But if you look at this on the bigger picture, JSE made all-time highs yesterday. Okay, now that's the backdrop of the Dow Jones and the DAX, but we'll take a look at that in a second. But if you see here, we are actually at resistance. So this, was a decent place to actually short it, as especially when the markets have been going higher and higher. Looking at the gold, okay, gold bounced a little bit at 1370. This was our level yesterday, and this is what's really nice about this. The RSI came in at 30 at the bottom of the range. We hit support. Okay, this is a clear clear trade. Okay, 13 off our 1270, bouncing 1260, 1276. Not a home run, but to take out a couple of bucks, after this thing has been down 1353 is not bad. Okay, especially if you're looking to cover your shorts, this would have been a great place to cover your shorts. Now, this was not the high probability trade because it's trending downwards and you're buying a downtrending symbol. Okay, but once you start hitting support level, you have to stop thinking short and maybe look for a bounce, and this is exactly what we had here. Looking at oil, we have inventory number coming out today. 5240-ish level was our resistance level. Okay, we've now come in a little bit at $50 a barrel. I'm not sure if this is going to, really make any bunch of a difference. To tell you the truth, oil's been trading, really sideways for the past, almost a year. So, 55 to $43 is the range. That's $13, almost irrelevant. Okay, to tell you the truth, we do cover it in terms of, for those that do like to trade the oil. So, if trading the inventories is your thing, it just you're playing the ranges here. So we're at the upper mid range, I would say, okay, versus the $43 that on the downside. A little bit of a resistance here, okay, subsequent support, but nothing to really say, okay, this is a clear trade in one direction or another. Now looking at the Dow Jones, okay, let's go to the behemoth, the animal, what's tearing us up above. Okay, this is all-time highs, 22,604. At the beginning of the week, we were at 22,000 and change. Okay, we were just 22,158, just flirting with the upper range of the market. Okay, we were just about right here, and this is a monthly chart, so it's not going to help you. But looking at the daily chart, we were trading at 22,137, and we just looked like we were taking up above. And guess what? We took it up above. We're above the 14-day moving average, and we're making it higher. Okay, 22,604 all-time highs for the Dow Jones. Like I mentioned earlier this week, it's really hard to pick a top. Okay, it's really hard to find a place to say, okay, this is really a good place for me to get in on the long side, because it keeps on, it's scary at these levels, right? You're afraid of a correctional move, and then it just goes higher. Okay, but the trend is up, and we mentioned this before. You should have a little bit more confidence on the upside. Chasing it now and buying it now might not be the most prudent thing, but as you saw that there was this retracement, that might have been a good place for you to have bought it. Okay, and to really say where the top is going to be, I don't think anybody in Wall Street will be able to tell you where the top is going to be, because we keep on breaking higher. I mean, what's the valuation? 25,000 for the Dow Jones, 26,000. Nobody knows. Okay, because the economy is expanding. President Trump, for better or for worse, I don't want to get into politics here, is, putting down regulation and, loosening a lot of things in the United States that's allowing the markets to really play out. So, and that's affecting, if we look at the JSE, all-time highs, 51,055. Okay, that's a major move for the JSE. If we're looking at a monthly level, that we were consolidating for a long time. Okay, and as you can see here, we had several points that we struggled on the upside, and now we're finally breaking up above. So this is something that's really noteworthy for those guys that are trading in the JSE. Usually the rand weakens as the JSE gets stronger, okay, and goes up. But as you can see earlier today, we did, as I showed you previously, we did hit resistance in the rand and we retraced a little bit. So that's playing out as well, as the economy is less dependent on gold, and the Johannesburg Stock Exchange at large is producing more revenue from other investments than gold. This is exactly what follows through. Now looking at the DAX as well, we're breaking out almost higher. We're not breaking out higher, and this is something that's disconcerting, because the Dow is breaking out higher. I expect the DAX to break out higher, but it's it seems like it's lagging along, where it's usually the leader. So I'd like to see maybe this is going to play catch up, okay, or this may propel the Dow Jones further down. So that's something to look at, especially as we get into the NFP this Friday. Now this could all change in a dime, and this is why you got to be prepared for it and know that this major number is coming out on Friday, and you should prepare yourself accordingly. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. We'll speak to you on Friday. Thank you.